There's got to be a better way.
Did someone say better way?
I went to this great faculty meeting this morning and I have all these notes from it and I want to keep them, but I don't want to keep the papers. But yet I don't have time to scan them all, front and back. What do I do?
I know what I can tell you to do, Chelsea. I'll show you.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to do this, and it's very fast and it's very easy, and it's about as hard to do as making a copy. Come on over. First, I take my papers and I put them in the feeder tray face up as if I were going to make a copy. Then I go and I touch Scan and Send. What do I touch, Chelsea?
Scan and send.
There it is. I click it, and now I'm going to choose my address, which is in the address book. Where is it, Chelsea?
The address book.
All right, I click here, and since you're the one that needed this, we're going to send it to me.
Okay.
Okay, so I just touched K, because my first name is Katie, and I touch K, and look, there's my email address.
You mean to tell me all our names are already in there?
Yep, we've got a pretty on-the-ball field tech who took care of all of that for us.
Cool.
So next, I just touch my name, and then I click OK, right here. All right, now, I know that it's two-sided, so I have to select that here. I want it to be like a book. I click OK. Two-sided is selected, and I know that it is because it's yellow. Now, I'm going to choose Auto because it will detect whether it's a color copy or a black and white copy. In this case, it's just a black and white copy. Now I'm going to press Start. And you can see it's pretty quick.
That is quick.
All right, we'll see you in a second when they're all done. All right, all done. Time to go check on my computer. All right, I'm going to open my email on my computer. Open up Outlook. My email ought to come in there. All right, now that my email's come through, and you notice it comes from office@canesdistrict.org, I have my attachment here. And this is why it's important to keep a clean desktop. I'm going to actually just drag this attachment over here and then drop it. I'm now going to rename it by clicking once on the title here, and I'm going to name it Faculty Notes. And there I have a PDF copy of my faculty notes. It's easy. Many of you are using a document that looks like this, and it's not easy to find online. But you can use the hard copies you have now to make them PDFs and be able to use your reflector and explain everything to get away from that document camera and move around the room. I'll show you how. First off, I'm going to lay it down flat like so. As you can see here, I've got the back side and the front side face up. So come on over here and I'll show you how we scan it. I'm going to touch Scan and Send, and I'm going to choose my name in the
address book.
You got it. K for Katie, which is right here. I click OK. Now I'm going to actually make sure it's full color, and I click OK, and that was found right here in this button right here.
Full color.
Full color. Now I'm also going to make sure it's selected as a two-sided original. I'm just going to choose book type, and I click
OK.
OK. And now I'm ready to send it. Looks like the email's in. I'm going to click right here, and it may take a second to load because it is full color. And now I have my document. I'm going to drag it to my desktop right here like so. Then I'm going to rename it 5-5A. And just a little trick, if you want to preview it to make sure it looks good, I click it once and touch the space bar, and look, I have a preview of exactly how it will look. Pretty nice. Now, in order to get it to my device, I'm going to open up Google Drive and sign into my CSD Docs, which I can tell that's what I'm signed up into here. And I'm going to actually make a new folder. I'm going to call it math folder. And I now have math folder here. I'm going to open it by double clicking, and look how hard it is to drag my file over. Now my PDF is accessible with any device that has the Google Drive app.
No way.
Pretty cool, right, Chelsea?
That's very cool.
All right. In order for this next step to work, you need to have Google Drive installed on your iPad. It's a free app and it's easy to find in the App Store. So I'm going to open Google Drive and then I'm going to choose Sign In. You should only have to do this once. At this point, you're going to put in your CSD Docs username and password. Now we're signed into Google Drive. All other apps on your iPad that need to access Google Drive will be able to access the stuff in your Google Drive that you saved. Now let's get back to that PDF we exported earlier, and we're going to bring it in to explain everything via Google Drive. So I'm going to first open Explain Everything, and then I just choose a new project, and now I touch this plus sign right here, enter a photo. I'm going to choose Google Drive, and in here I find the folder that I labeled Math folder, and there is the same file that I scanned earlier. I'm going to click Choose, and it's loading. It'll just take a moment. And while it's loading, you can see it there. Now, if I wanted to start out with the first page, I can easily just zoom in, and I can see my hundreds chart here. And if I wanted to circle the even numbers, this isn't the lesson necessarily, but you can see how I can notate that. And then I can write in our words here. So 10 less than 82, as I see right here, is 72. And we're going through that together as a class. I'm letting the children write on the blanks. I can zoom in to make this very large so that those who have trouble, 10 more than 82 is 92. And so I can elicit more class participation this way. One thing I want to make sure you understand is that the other page, because you notice this is just the front and the back page, the other page is on slide 2, which I can access at the very bottom there. And then we can write on these lines, same thing we were doing before. You know, 10 less than 78 is 68. And that's how scanning leads to being freed up with your iPad.